Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the video lesson. I'm Shweta Gupta, your social studies teacher. Today, I'm going to teach you lesson 8. The topic of the lesson is basic features of the democratic form of the government with special reference to the Indian government. So, let's get started. Children, in the previous chapters, we have learned about Indian Constitution, its important features and its significance or its importance. In this chapter, we will learn about the basic features of the democratic form of government which is being mentioned in the Indian Constitution with special reference to the Indian government. So children, let's see, what do we mean by the democratic form of the government? Now children, what is a democratic form of government? Let us understand. First of all, it is the most rational and popular form of government all over the world. Children, what do we mean by rational? It means something based on reason or logic. So, democratic form of government is the most rational and popular form of government all over the world. Democracy is the only form of government in which people feel themselves an essential part of the governmental structure. Children, what do we mean by this? Well, this statement means that democracy is the only form of government where people participation is always ensured, where it is always being made sure that people are participating in the formation of the government as well as in the running of the government, either directly or indirectly. So, the role of the people is very important in this democratic form of government. American President Abraham Lincoln. Children, can you see the picture of Abraham Lincoln? Yes. So, American President Abraham Lincoln had rightly said, and what did he say? What did he say? Let us see. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So, what does this mean? It means that democracy or the democratic form of the government is made by the people, it is made for the sake of the people, and this government is of the people only. And by people we mean the common citizen of a country. So I hope you have understood what is a democratic form of government. Now children, let us learn the salient features of the Indian government or the important features of the Indian government. And you know children, since Indian government is also a democratic form of government, so we can say that we will learn the important features of the democratic form of government by learning the important features of the Indian government. Adoption of democracy means when we have adopted democracy or followed democracy as a way of governance. The concept of democracy is also found in ancient India. You know children, we find the reference of the Sabha, that is General Assembly, and the Samiti, which is also called the House of Elders in the Rig Veda and the Atharvaveda, which are the ancient books of Hindu culture. The founding fathers of the constitution adopted or followed democracy as a means of governance. In the picture, children, you will see Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was the first president of India and who was also the president of the Constituent Assembly, the same Constituent Assembly that framed the Constitution of India. And in this picture, you can see Dr. Rajendra Prasad signing the Constitution of India. Constitution type. Now children, constitution may be written or unwritten. We adopted or we followed the written constitution. That is, our constitution is in the written form. Our constitution is both rigid and flexible. Children, rigid means not able to be changed and flexible means able to be easily modified or easily changed. So children, some part of our constitution are very rigid, means we cannot change those parts, and some part of our constitution are very flexible, that is, they can be easily modified or they can be easily changed according to the demand of the time. It is federal in structure and unitary in spirit. So, our constitution is federal in structure and unitary in spirit. Now children, in the picture, children, this is the picture of the Constituent Assembly, and in this picture we can see Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, moving the resolution for an independent sovereign republic in Constituent Assembly. So, the next feature is parliamentary form of government. Children, Indian government is a parliamentary form of government. Our founding fathers preferred the parliamentary form of government, and you know why? Because the parliamentary form of government is the most suitable form of government for building a united India and for accommodating a variety of diversities. In this form of government, the ministers are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. We find the parliamentary form of government both at the union and the state levels. And what do we mean by the union level? Well, it means the union government or the central government that runs the whole country. And what do we mean by at the state level? It means the state government that runs a particular state. And children, in the picture, you can see the Lok Sabha or the lower house of the parliament. So, the next feature is republican structure. India is a republic. We have an elected president. He is the supreme commander of the armed forces that include army, navy and air force, and the head of the state. Here, state means country. So children, India is a republic because we have an elected president. And you know children, president is the supreme commander of the armed forces and also he is the head of the country. All executive actions of the union government, that is the central government that runs the whole country, is taken in his name. In whose name? In the president's name. He is an integral or essential part of the parliament. So children, president is an essential part of the parliament. Now children, look at the picture. In this picture, you can see Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is the residence of the President of India, and it is situated in New Delhi. Universal adult franchise. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said in the Constituent Assembly that by parliamentary democracy we mean one man, one vote. Children, can you see the picture of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? He was also one of the founding members of the Constituent Assembly. Our founding fathers opted for universal adult franchise. And what do we mean by universal adult franchise? Well, according to universal adult franchise, every adult Indian has equal voting rights without any discrimination. Now children, can you see in the picture that how all the citizens have turned out to practice their fundamental right to vote or to practice universal adult franchise, and all are having their voter ID cards in their hands. Now, the next feature is fundamental rights. Children, in a democratic government, all citizens enjoy certain fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are the cornerstone or an important quality or feature of the democratic way of life. Children, you know there are 6 fundamental rights in our constitution, and you have learned about these fundamental rights in your previous chapter. Free and fair elections. Free and fair elections are the soul of a democratic government. The universal adult franchise and free and fair elections have made our democracy always moving and evolving. The next feature is independent judiciary. Independent judiciary is the fulcrum of our democracy. So children, what do we mean by fulcrum? It means a central or essential situation. So, independent judiciary is the essential part of our democracy. In our country, we have one unified judicial system along with powers of judicial review. Union-state relations. Well, in our constitution, there are 3 lists for the distribution of legislative powers. And these are, first one, the union list, which contains 97 items. The second one is the state list, which contains 66 items. And the third one is the concurrent list, which contains 47 items. The union as well as the states should function in accordance with the constitutional provision or the provision which are laid by the constitution. Importance of elections in a democratic form of government. Well, free and fair elections are the essential part of any democracy. Elections form the backbone of democracy. And you know, children, we cannot imagine democracy without elections. Elections are held as per the provisions and norms laid down by the Constitution of India. Free and fair elections strengthens the very roots of the democratic structure. And how? Well, free and fair elections ensures the participation of the people, and in this way it strengthens the very roots of the democratic structure. The adoption of universal adult franchise revolutionized the whole scenario of elections in India. Election Commission of India has the responsibility of conducting and controlling all elections to the Parliament, to the state legislatures, and to the offices of the President and the Vice President. Election Commission of India keeps a sharp eye on the whole process of electioneering in order to ensure free and fair elections. Thus, free and fair elections have made our democracy vibrant or full of life. So, this way we have come to the end of the chapter, and I hope you all have understood the salient features of the democratic form of government. Now let's come to the assignment. Your assignment is answer the following questions. The first question is define the term democracy. Children, I hope you know the answer of this question. So let us see what is the answer. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So children, may I know who said these lines? Yes, it was said by the American President Abraham Lincoln. Now let's move to the next question. Which is the best form of government? Explain. Answer is the democratic form of government is the best form of government because it is the most rational and popular form of government all over the world, and it is the only form of government in which people feel themselves an essential part of the governmental structure. Question number 3. Write in brief about the parliamentary form of government. So let us see the answer of this question. In the parliamentary form of government, the ministers are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. The parliamentary form of government is found both at union and state levels. Now let's come to the next question. What do you mean by the universal adult franchise? Discuss. Answer is, by universal adult franchise, we mean that every adult Indian has equal voting rights without any discrimination. Question number 5. What is the importance of elections in a democratic country? Well, free and fair elections are the essential part of any democracy. Elections form the backbone of democracy. Free and fair elections strengthens the very root of the democratic structure. So children, this way we have completed the assignment. Children, you are supposed to write these question answers in your notebook in a very neat and clean handwriting. Thank you, my dear students, for watching this video lesson till the end. Stay home, stay safe.